Welcome back, Afternoon Garage. So if you've been watching, last week we were able to successfully pull the motor out, got it dropped onto the lift, and today I think what I'm going to do is pick it up with a cherry picker and put it on my engine stand. So this is kind of the hard part, and maybe the part that you could sustain the most damage. If that thing falls off the engine hoist, well, it's not going to be very good. I really don't have the right engine leveler for it, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to strap it right around the heads, and I'll just pick it up and make it happen today. So with the assistance of my wife, I'm going to have her help me come out here and push this thing around, get this engine bolted to the yoke, and then installed on the engine stand. Now after that, I'm going to pretty much kind of take the engine apart piece by piece and go through everything. Of course, I'm going to plate the bolts, I'm going to paint everything, replace things that need to be replaced. Now there are lots of good videos out there on the internet about specifically getting into the engine and maybe taking it apart and what you're going to find in there. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of blow through it really quickly, and then maybe show you guys some things that maybe I came across, ideas that I have that makes things a little bit easier. But as far as going into great detail, taking off bolt by bolt, probably not going to do it that way because, well, there's lots of other videos out there that cover tear down of the engine. So let's get my helper out here, get this thing off the lift. Already got a foldable engine stand with a Porsche type yoke. And as far as getting this thing up on the stand now, I think what I want to do is kind of sling the whole motor here. So that's what I usually do. I know that people, this is the rear mounting points here, and they pick a mounting point on the front and kind of do like a 3-point thing. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off. This is really bad shape. You can see it's one of the few rusty things on this car, and so that's got some damage in there and will need to be cut out. Not easy this is going to come off. There we go. So we'll pull this out. Need to pull this charge tube out here. See if we can't sling this up. I'm not too bad of a driver after all. Well, it's starting to get a little late out, and as you can see, I'm trying to put this yoke on here, and it looks like it's going to hit everything. So there's an oil line here, there's the engine tins, it's definitely going to hit that, and most importantly, there's a crossover pipe here with the exhaust, definitely going to hit that too. So yeah, this all looks really rusted underneath here. I was really hoping maybe I could get it on the stand and flip it around upside down and have an easy time of it, but probably not this time. So looks like I'm going to have to take off a good portion of this exhaust and all these tins to make this fit. I thought the whole purpose of this, and this is about $300, somewhere in that neighborhood. I thought the whole purpose of it was to make life easier so that you can kind of hang this thing and get it all assembled and ready to go and put it in. That's just not the case now, is it? My straps work pretty well. I can rest it on the engine hoist, but man, a little more disassembly necessary, and we'll get it up in the air. Alright, so I flipped this thing over initially for a reason. Mainly I want to get these heat exchangers off, and I guess there's a part number on the bottom of them I could have got. But just kind of want to get them off and see if they're salvageable. It kind of looks like they're really starting to rust out. You could probably just cut this and slice this right in here, but you know what? I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change them out because not that there's any holes in them or anything like that. I just think that I want this motor to look really good and last for a long time, and I think changing the heat exchanger is probably a good idea. So we'll start with that. and then take that exhaust off, take the turbo off, and kind of get, flip it around, maybe take the intake off. There's two different kinds of nuts on these heat exchangers. Supposed to be, which is kind of a hex thing with some threads on the end. That's pretty interesting. But they have these lock nuts also. So, and of course with the lock nuts, I can't get down any tool down inside there to get at it. So I kind of have to get at the side with a combination wrench. But that's all right. I'm getting it. I got one more left. Well, now one thing of interest here, it has these little tabs on it. You can see I've taken a couple of those up. They're just locking tabs. They're very rusty, very brittle. And I just kind of wonder if the whole exhaust system was set up with these locking tabs. Because these are lock nuts here, but anyway, I guess I'll have to take all these off before, so I can get a socket on there. And oh, not too bad damage. Just it's like a gasket. I repair that right there. Okay, well, I was able to get one of these off here with the nut trick. So I think what I'm going to do, so I got 3 studs up here that broke. We'll just try to get them off that way. So that's bad. Yep, I have to try it again. This is going to take some time, and hopefully I can get them out without having to extract. I think what I'll do is I'm going to soak this whole thing overnight and try it again tomorrow.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Well, that's getting shorter and shorter, so I don't know. Not quite sure what I'm going to do about this. I think this one here is turning. All right. Man, that is messed up. All right, one more. Didn't have to drill out of one of them. All right, they're out. Oof. Okay. First. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Hopefully my nuts didn't come off because this is just double nutted here. Oh yeah, sure did. Well, that didn't work. Twist it off. Alright, try it again. I'm gonna try one more thing to get this these studs out. This is called a stud extractor. It's kind of an interesting tool. It looks like jaws for a drill. You tighten it up on there and you twist it off. So if this doesn't work, it's gonna get really interesting. So hopefully this will work. tighten them up. Yeah, I don't think this is working. Nope. Alright, this time I'm going to use this. See if I get any more. Oh my gosh, it came out. It's bent, but it came out. So I'm gonna try it on this one now, using this. Hopefully I can get this out. This is wonderful. Squirt another round of PB Blaster in there and see if I can get this other one out. Now what's happening here is this tool is bottoming out. It's at the low end and it's not able to grip anymore, and of course this is smooth now. So I think I'm going to put a helicoil in there to take up the space as a last Hail Mary and see if I can't make this happen. Okay. Oh my gosh, I got it out. Okay, so I smashed up a helicoil in there. And yeah, keep working at things and look at that. It's out. All right, that was a close one, wasn't it? So now, I used a combination of all different kinds of things. I used, a big hammer, a lot of this PB Blaster. Of course, my torch was a really good tool. And ultimately, this thing saved the day. So yeah, this stud extractor was definitely a lifesaver. I was kind of getting worried there that it wasn't going to happen. So anyway, if this didn't work and this didn't happen today, well, what would happen is you'd have to buy a tool which you can bolt on to either the intake or the exhaust ports and then really carefully drill them out. I think that tool is just kind of more of a guide than anything else. All it does is just keeps everything centered. But still, I don't think these are really hardened steel or anything like that. They are definitely steel because they're magnetized, but or they're magnetic. But just having to drill something out, especially an aluminum or a magnesium head or whatever, you get that drill off to just a little bit of the side angle. That doesn't work very well. And then what you end up having to do is drill the whole thing out and put a helicoil in there, and it's a repair, but generally it's not right. So I'm really happy that I was able to get them all out. Now I know what some of you are saying. Some of you are saying, boy, this just looks like a bolt and stud extraction video. And yeah, that's really what it was. What I don't really want to do with this, as I said at the start of the episode, was just kind of show you nut and bolts and how to take things off and how to operate tools and that kind of thing. I'm just going to basically focus on the things that are causing me trouble. So in this case, this is one of those things where, the episode, I didn't get as far as I wanted to in it. Well, naturally, because I spent several days trying to soak these things and get them off. So, maybe next time, we're going to flip the motor around, get in there and take the intake off, and hopefully, there's the same kind of ports in there in the intake. So maybe I won't have so much trouble on the other side of the motor, since, well, it's the intake side and it's a little cooler and doesn't go through the heat cycles that the exhaust ports do. But that's going to be for next time. And as I say, really excited about getting this done. Got the turbo off in one shape, and it looks like maybe the turbo might be leaking out of the exhaust housing. I think I might be able to contact a local turbo rebuild shop and see if I can get some work done on that thing. At least have them, you know, give it a once over or something, or maybe, hey, you know, maybe I can even hook up an oil pump to it and pressurize it myself and see if it's squirting out there. So it definitely shouldn't be, it shouldn't be coming out the exhaust port. And well, when I flipped this thing over, there was a lot of oil that kind of just gushed out of there. I'm not quite sure why. You know, flipping the motor around here and there, you know, you can see it drained all over the place and, you know, it made a mess. But I'm definitely also going to be kind of noting where I see a lot of oil leaking from, you know, the valve covers and that kind of thing. And, you know, there's a pressure sensor on the other side that commonly leaks, and, you know, the rear main seal, I don't see any evidence of that, but I'll be changing that out. And the most important thing is just to tear it down and get it down to where I can take the valve covers off and actually check the head studs. Now, if the head studs are broken, that's a big problem, and then it kind of negates all the work I did here because everything's going to have to come apart, and at that point, it doesn't matter if the exhaust studs are frozen in there or not because, you know, cylinder heads have to come off, and it could easily be put on a drill press and have those drilled out. But let's hope I don't have to do any of that. So maybe next week, be able to get that off and get these valve covers off and test that. See what I got here. You know, with the compression readings I got, I have a feeling it's going to be just fine. Anyway, you like this kind of content? You know, I'm going to probably come across all kinds of different hills and valleys with this motor. As you can see, it's not the easiest thing in the world to work on. Lots and lots of parts and lots of fun here. But hey, please subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.